Hi, welcome to this week's Tech Talk. This week we're going to be talking about how to troubleshoot when a mic isn't working. So there's nothing more frustrating than sitting behind the mixer and all of a sudden your microphone's just not working and you don't know why. So I'm going to walk you through how to troubleshoot that depending on the type of microphone you have. So the first thing you want to do is you want to determine what kind of microphone you have, and there's basically three different types that we use. We use a wireless microphone, a condenser microphone, and a dynamic microphone. So let's talk about the wireless microphone first. So you're sitting there at your mixer, the singer's singing, and you're not getting any signal. So the very first thing that you want to make sure is that they have the microphone on. So I just get on the box mic and ask them, hey, is your microphone on? If they look, it's not on, they're pushing it, it turns on, you get signal, you're fine. If it doesn't turn on, then the problem is the batteries. That's the next thing that I would check. Make sure that you have fresh batteries in before any rehearsal, before any worship service. You want to have fresh batteries in all wireless devices. Change the batteries. You're still not getting signal at the wireless receiver. It could be a bad wireless. They could not be synced. Okay. Then you want to make sure that the microphones are synced. Now these are all things that you do before the service. Okay, when you're testing your mics, when you're ringing out your mics. So all of a sudden you're getting signal at the wireless receiver, but you're not getting any signal on the mixer. Okay, if you have a digital mixer, you want to make sure that your channel is lined up. You want to make sure that they're synced together, that you have the correct channel assignment, and also after that you want to make sure that the routing through the mixer is going through the left-right mix, so this going through the house. Oftentimes if something's happened during the week, somebody's been doing something, they might have rerouted the output of that channel to somewhere else, maybe a recording device or maybe to the lobby for music or whatever, so make sure that that's right. A condenser microphone. Now a condenser microphone requires phantom power. If you're not seeing any signal at the mixer, the very first thing that I would check is the phantom power. Now I'm going to add a little caveat here. When something goes wrong, when you don't have something right, something is not happening right, and you're standing at the mixer, do everything you can at the mixer first before you do anything else. Okay? Make sure everything is routed right, make sure all your settings are fine, make sure you have gain on, that the mutes aren't on, that you have the routing going right out to the left-right mix. You want to check the mixer first before you leave the booth and do something other troubleshooting. So condenser microphone, if the phantom power is not on, this is how you do it. You bring the fader back down to home position, all the way down, and you mute the channel. Then it's okay to turn on phantom power. This is what happens when you engage in phantom power. You push that button and all of a sudden 48 volts of direct current goes down that microphone cable to that microphone into the condenser. And if you don't have it muted, it pops. And that can cause a lot of damage to your system. It can cause a lot of damage to the microphone. It's something that you don't want to do. So always have the fader in the home position all the way down and your mute set. Then you can turn on the phantom power. So now a dynamic microphone. Now this is going to be the same for all of the microphones, wireless, condenser, or dynamic. If a dynamic microphone is you're not getting signal at the mixer, the very first thing that I look at is the channel muted? Am I getting any signal whatsoever? If I bring up the gain, is anything happening? If I bring up the fader, am I hearing anything? Am I hearing hiss? Am I hearing anything whatsoever? I also want to make sure that the routing is right. On an analog mixer, you're going to have a left-right button. They'll go out to your left-right mains. On a digital mixer, it's different. However your mixer is assigned, make sure that it's going out the left-right mix. Sometimes you can actually get signal up in the ears for the people on the stage, or on the stage monitors, you can't hear it in the house. Okay, well, obviously that's a routing problem. There's no other reason. The microphone's working, signal's coming in the mixer. You're not hearing it in the house. They're hearing it in their ears and on the stage. It's a routing problem. So you just go in and fix the routing problem. If you have everything right at the mixer and you're still not getting signal to the board from your microphone, think about the process of troubleshooting. You want to look for breaks in the line. Where are the breaks? Okay, I always start at the source, the microphone. One very quick trick to learn when you're troubleshooting a microphone is if somebody else is using a wired microphone next to you, have them switch cables. Have them unplug their mic. You switch cables, plug in your microphone. So you have the same microphone but a new cord. And if your microphone is all of a sudden working and theirs is not, that means the microphone you're using is good, so you can switch back. The very next thing you check is the cable itself. You already know that there's something wrong, so you might as well replace the cable. Then you want to make sure that you're plugged into the stage box, okay, or however you're plugging into the stage box in the back. You want to make sure that all of these things are taken care of. I always test my mics before any musicians arrive or before anything happens. Before worship, I change the batteries before rehearsal, before every worship service. If you have 2 of them in the morning or 3 of them in the morning, before every worship service, replace your batteries. One of the things that you might want to talk your leadership into doing is investing in rechargeable batteries. It's a little bit of an investment at first, but it pays off in the long run. The last church that I served at, it cost about $300 to set up for a rechargeable battery system. But in that year, it saved them over $1,000 in buying batteries, and that's after the cost of the rechargeable battery things. So troubleshooting microphones, it can be frustrating. Just don't panic. Just start at your mixer. Make sure that everything is right at your mixer. Your routing is right, that everything is right, that there's fresh batteries. Then move on to the cables and the microphones. And that's it for Tech Talk for this week. I'll see you next week. Thanks.